Hi, this is Nikia. Welcome to novicetutorials.com. Today is part 2 on HTML as promised, and I just wanted to go over the basics again. Here is the basic shell that I taught you how to do last time. You must open and close your HTML code with the HTML opening tag and closing tag. Those are container tags. They come in pairs. The header tag, that's at the top of the page. In the header tag, you usually find the title page and usually the meta tags, which we don't have here in this description. Then there's the body tags, and you can have your H1 tag, it's a heading tag, H2, it's a subheading. You can also have paragraph tags in here. So that's the basic HTML shell. The document that we last did was index.html. And when you open it up in your browser, I'm using Internet Explorer, you will see what the code looks like on a web page. And what you can do is right click, and depending on what browser you're using, view the source code. And the code that I use to create this web page can be found here. You could pretty much do this on any website. And this is the basic structure that I use to build this page. Now I'm going to get into a little bit more with regard to the markup tags. We're going to talk about structure tags with some insight on attribute names and values. Okay, so as you can see, I added 2 lines of code in paragraph tags. Now, the strong element, this tag here, makes the text bold, but you can also use this B tag here to make the text bold as well, but it's preferred that you use strong. The strong tag is preferred if you're using XHTML because your HTML code here is used to instruct the browser of what to do. It's the language that's telling your browser how to show the page, and you would use your CSS to create the style of the page, which we'll get into later in a CSS tutorial. Now, if you save this document and let's just call it Home 2, and you open this page up on a browser, you can see that the text is bold here, and I made this bold tag with the B tag and this bold font with the strong tag. So we'll close this. Now the next I'm going to do is show you how to italicize and underline. If you add this extra 2 lines to your web page, this I tag will appear in its italics, and the EM tag would also display as italics, but the preferred method is the EM if you're using XHTML. The next line of code has the U tag, which will underline your text. If we go ahead and save this as home2.html, this is how it will display in your browser. The I tag italicizes, and so does the EM tag, and the U tag will underline your text. The next line of code, you can use a combination of these tags, such as the strong and the underline tag, the U tag, to underline your text, but you have to make sure your tags are properly nested. Your tag should be paired going from outside inward. So for example, your strong tags will be on the outside if you're going to start with the strong tag, and the U tags will be nested inside the strong tags. So, and then as you see, the paragraph tag still open and close the paragraph, and you're putting it around the words you want to make strong or bold and underline. So when you save this and view it in your browser, this is what the page will look like. You can use a combination of these tags such as bolding and underlining your text. So you see it's bolded and underlined. But as you notice, some of the text is underlined over here, and I'm not sure if I exactly wanted my code to underline that part of the text, so I have to check my code to make sure I nested my tags properly. So, and let's see why. Oh, that's why, because I didn't close my tag properly up here. So now when I save this, it's a good thing I messed up, so now I can show you what it's supposed to look like. Already had it open. So now you see that the underline is gone and I only have the text underlined and bolded here, and this is where I intended it. So make sure your tags are properly nested. Your opening and closing tags should be paired from outside going inward, because as you see, if you don't nest your tags or open and close your tags properly, they won't display in the browser. Now keep in mind, this is an HTML basic course for novice users who only intend to just put up a website. You're not interested in being a web designer. Those tutorials will come later on depending on what requests you guys send to me. So far this basic stuff is working out good for my users. Now, we're going to talk about images. For the image tag, you start with the IMG, your source, you're linking it to wherever your image is on the server. We'll get into that later, but you can put a URL, or if you know the path to your own site, you can do that as well, and you can link it that way. But that's a more complex HTML tutorial coming soon. And also you can use your alt value to name your image, and this can help in the search engines like I mentioned in an earlier tutorial, using keywords to describe your image. So I put alternative media logo. That's from another one of my sites. So now in the image tag, it's a self-closing tag. You don't need to open and close it. You can just close your tag with this slash right here, and we'll look to see what that image looks like on the browser shortly. Now the image tag, like I said, it's a self-closing tag. You can add attributes to your HTML code to change the way the text, images, and other items appear on your web page. And just make sure your value is always in quotes. If you notice, the value always has quotes around it. If you don't have the quotes, especially if you're using XHTML standards, it's not going to show up in the web browser properly. So now let's save this as Home 2 again. And now as you see, the image is not showing up properly. So somewhere in my code I did something wrong. So I'm going to go back to this code because I'm just copying and pasting here. And I'm going to examine what I could have done wrong to make this appear funny. Aha, I know. What I have to do is put some text here. So I'll just put the tidbit logo, and this should do the trick. So you refresh your page and the tidbit logo appears.